Bubba Wallace makes the playoffs for the first time in his Cup Series career. He got out of the car at Daytona. You just saw the absolute relief. So what does it mean for a driver to make the playoffs versus not? Jeff?
Well, it's a huge deal for everybody, and regardless of what teams tell you, you hear them all the time say we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I don't care if we don't get in. That's a bunch of crap. It just is. When you're a big team, you're expected to be in the playoffs, and when you're not, it's usually disappointing. And I think for Bubba in particular, I think it's a huge deal for his confidence. I mean, a lot's been talked about, and he spoke about it. Just the pressure, it wears on you. And it takes some of the fun out, right? And you said it. I mean, you said it well. It was relief that he got in the playoffs. I've been there. I've been more relieved that I got in the playoffs than I was happy that I got in the playoffs. And I think so emotionally for Bubba, it's a step in his career. I mean, he's showing that he can compete. In my eyes, he kind of has the same pace as Tyler Reddick, and I think that's a good thing. Now it's emotionally, can I achieve? Can I do the things I need to do? And this is another step in the process for Bubba saying, yes, I can. And we all go through it, regardless of what drivers tell you. There's always a little bit of self-doubt. If you don't have a little bit of self-doubt when you're not making playoffs and you're not winning races consistently, now that's not confidence, that's arrogance. And you have to look at Bubba's particular situation and just say, hey, I did it. I did it with the pressure on. I found a way to make it happen. And so Bubba woke up Monday morning saying, all right, playoffs are starting. Let's go. And I think that makes him a little bit dangerous in the playoffs.
Yeah, this was a big moment for Bubba Wallace in his career. You always talk about that. Give me the car, give me the team, put me in the situation, and I'll show you what I can do. Well, all it's been to this point was that, yes, the talent is there. We know that he has the drive and the abilities to get this done. But he's finally proven to us that he is ready to make this next step. Look, every driver has pressure on them to perform. But when you put yourself in a high-profile situation, such as what Bubba has done with this race team, you're driving for Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. And all the eyes are on you, each and everything that you do. So he's made the playoffs now. What do you do from here? And that was great. Enjoy it for a few days because now the questions are, can you make it through a round and get yourself in a position to be a part of the round of 12?
Okay, so let's talk about that first round.
Kim, DJ just explained sports, making a living in sports in general. That was great. Right? Now, what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, the pressure never stops. Like, great job, Bubba. Okay, now you know what I mean? And that's why making a living in motorsports or in any kind of sport, it looks awesome on TV to do it, and it is an unbelievable honor. But the pressure and it just never stops. It goes forever.
Yeah, and if anything, the pressure is going to be even more intense as he tries to work himself through the playoffs. So let's talk the first round. Again, what have you done for me lately? We look at Darlington, Kansas, Bristol. Last year, although he was not part of the playoffs, Bubba won the Kansas race. And as you're seeing the playoff standings right now, he has no playoff points banked, so sits in that 16th position. So I know it's early, but does Bubba make it out of this round? And if he doesn't, who's joining him? Who's out after the first round?
Yeah, I'm going to say this. In the point situation that Bubba's in, and when I look at these three tracks, I think he better figure out a way to win one of these three races. And his best chances are he runs well at Darlington, but you're going to have to beat Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin if you plan on winning at Darlington this weekend. So Kansas, he knows how to get the job done. That was such an impressive performance last year that he did. And he, in my opinion, he needs that. I don't see him getting through in points with this first round and not having any playoff points. Although I know everything is very tight back there. You're talking about having to be in this situation almost perfect for 3 straight races. That's no mistakes on pit road. That's the pit crew doing their job. You as a driver not making any mistakes. That's hard, especially when you're in the midst of your first playoff round that you've ever been in. So, that's the difficulty. But he's not going to be alone. There's going to be 3 that are going to join him. And, I think Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., in my opinion, are going to be along the same lines, trying to put together 3 straight races. That's going to be tough for them to do. And, my 4th one out is going to be one that might be a little surprise. And I think he's one that has to win too. And that's Ross Chastain. I think I just haven't seen the consistency for him to get through on the points. And if he doesn't win, I believe that he's out.
Yeah, we are now in this mini season schedule, right? So what are the next 3 races? And it's Darlington, the Southern 500, one of the most grueling, Kansas, and then Bristol. We all know what Bristol can become. So how do you get through this? And it is going to be very difficult. And it does put a tremendous amount of people that don't have the points to fall back on, as DJ just said. So Bubba immediately has the pressure on him. I agree with Stenhouse and McDowell. And, I think also, Kyle Busch and his team, I mean, they have those points that they have stacked up, but, it's only, they have 2019 points, McDowell 2007. So what concerns me about the 8 car is that their consistency, and they've had a lot of bad finishes with decent runs, and they're going to have to stop that. So what knocks you out in the first round is bad finishes, wrecks, mechanical issues, any kind of issues like that. If you can avoid those bad events, Kyle Busch goes right on. But they have not had the consistency that we expect to see from a Richard Childress Racing team and from Kyle Busch. And going into the playoffs, to me, that's their weakness. It's not the speed, it's the ability to avoid the bad days.
Well, I think if we've learned anything the last couple of years is that there's no easy round. There's no easy track once the playoffs start this weekend at Darlington.
Thanks for joining us for Motormouths, presented by Toyota.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.